Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Beautiful Rebel. I know I haven't been here in a hot ass minute, but a lot of stuff been happening in my life and I want y'all to know I'm back now. I even previously recorded a video and I gotta re-record this again. So stay tuned and I hope you like it.
She used to work at King of Diamonds on a Monday. Only hit the club on Saturday and Sunday. I used to pull up every week, you should have seen her. The way she did it, nobody could do it cleaner.
As you can see by the title, this is my first date story. Now, if you previously watched my videos where I was talking about F-Boy series, I think I'm going to bring that F-Boy series back and I'm going to continue with my last ex, which we're going to name in a Storytime Scorpio. If you know, then you know, okay? But before I wanted to even say the story, I just want to say a little disclaimer. I have no hate, no type of remorse, no type of anything for that relationship or that person. There's nothing but love there. We might not speak no more, might not talk, we might not together, but I'm mature enough to say there's a lot of love, there's a lot of lessons, and I don't regret nothing that happened because maybe the person who I am today, and I really feel like I could be still cool with this person in that sense, you know. But I want you to know, if you do watch this video, because you know I have a channel, you might see this now or years later, but just know there's nothing but love there, and you just gave me a lot of story times to talk about so I can make this moolah. So I remember back when I was in college, I'm gonna call this boy Painter. So there was this boy in my college English class, and that's what we were calling Painter, whatever. So Painter was really cute, very handsome, very quiet, and he's a college boy. I like college boys. I like somebody that seems like they have sense, something about them. So I had a mutual friend by the name of Aaliyah. She's not like a deep factor, so I could say her name. I don't think it'll be a problem. So me and Aaliyah and Painter was cool and whatever. So me and Painter started talking. So around the time we had started talking, I believe weeks before that, or like days before that, oh, it was weeks before that actually, I was on Instagram and Scorpio liked my picture. Now back in those days, Instagram was on some stuff like double tap for a follow back, double tap for a shout out, double tap for a good morning post, double tap for to be honest. So it was a to be honest situation where he double tapped and I went through Scorpio's pictures and I was like, yo, this boy looks familiar. So I wrote under his picture, to be honest, he looked familiar, and that's how Scorpio slid in my DMs. We was talking, he got my number, and we used to always like text and like talk on the phone briefly, nothing crazy. But I remember one night he FaceTimed me and I declined his FaceTime call because I was so nervous. I'm a shy person, even though I seem very outspoken. Well, I am outspoken, but I'm very shy. I was never always like this. High school made me have a voice. I was never the one to talk. I was talk amongst friends, but to talk out loud and stuff like this, I'm still shy. But anyway, so after doing it, to be honest, with Scorpio and the FaceTime call that I declined, you know, I lied and I told him like, hey, I was busy, knowing damn well I was not busy. Sorry if you guys hear this sound. The air conditioner is on. It's hot in New York. But anyways, so yeah, we was talking and then we fell off. So around this time now, me and Painter was talking. So the way how I am is, when I talk to you and only you. And I feel like that's my biggest downfall in relationships. Now, I'm not condoning talking to a lot of people, but dating wise, I feel like I never had the opportunity to date. Because when I start talking to a guy that I like, it's only me and that guy. I never really have options. As when it comes to males, they have options. So anyways, now me and Painter was talking whatever, and one day that made me got really mad at Painter is because we was in an area of the college where we just chill, and there was this pretty girl there and whatever, and he was trying to talk to her in front of me. So I kind of felt away because like we're talking and maybe like you're not mine, but why would you do it in front of my face? So I was upset, and like 5 minutes later I left quietly and I was upset, and I walked to school, and I guess me and Aaliyah, I don't remember if it was me and Aaliyah and her friend walking, or it was me and like a random friend that walked. Actually, it was one of my old high school friends that walked out with me that knew Scorpio. So anyways, now I got on the bus and Painter got on the bus too. So he had ran for the bus actually. So I got on the bus and out of nowhere Scorpio calls me. Mind you, I told you I already dubbed his FaceTime call. So he called me on FaceTime and I picked up and whatever. So we talking and I called his vibe. Like, he really liked me. I liked him. I'll never forget, he was in the truck talking to me, chilling with his friends. And his friends had left, so he took his spare time to talk to me. He talked to me all the way from school to the train. Then he hung up. So he's going to call me later. He called me later. Now that started off him calling me on FaceTime every day. We used to be on FaceTime and we was the real definition of Netflix and chill. Like, he used to call me on the phone. We used to talk from like in the afternoon all the way to the night. And like, what we do is, I have a Netflix account, he have a Netflix account. So let's just say we're watching 13 Reasons Why. If my episode had to buffer, he'll pause this and wait for me to catch up. If his episodes had to buffer, I would pause mine and let him catch up. It was like that, and we spoke about everything, so I got really close. So he offered to take me on a date. At this time, he was working at a supermarket and I was working at Whole Foods. And at Whole Foods. At this time, he was working at a supermarket and I was working at Applebee's. So his job was a little bit like a 20-minute, 30-minute, 25-minute walk from my job. So, like, we got close, whatever. He asked me on a date. And I was like, cool. So, one day I was at Applebee's. We set up the date to talk, like, to go out at the end of the night. And I was at the job from, like, early in the morning. But I told him I wanted to leave early, like, around 3, 4 o'clock. So I called him and I'm like, hey, like, I'm leaving this time. Do you want to, like, go now, whatever? He like, you sure you want to go home and take a shot? I'm like, nah, I'm already down. I'm already dressed. Mind you, I'm nervous. So he meets me on a train station at Atlantic now. That's in Brooklyn. By Atlantic, whatever. This is when the Barclays Center was up and whatever. And we hopped on a train together and we went to go see the movie. I wish I would remember what movie it was. I really wish to this day I remember what movie it was. But we got to the movie theater. He paid for the ticket, paid for the food, all of that. You feel me? So I'm like, alright, cool, we cool. Ain't nothing popping off with that. We in the movie theaters, we having mad fun. He was very respectful, had his arms around me. Cool. Now this is around the time that Uber was becoming a thing. So we get out of the movie theater. So I'm thinking everything is done. Little movie theater date. It was cute. We was holding hands, stuff like that. He put his arms around me, like, oh, I'm gonna order a Juno. A Juno is like Uber. So he's trying to get the Juno, whatever. It's not going through. So he ends up hopping in. We end up hopping into a dollar cab. Lord, we end up hopping into Uber a little bit later now, and we're into the Uber on the way to a restaurant. Now this restaurant is my favorite restaurant to this day, but we didn't get to go to that restaurant because it was over capacity, which was Taos. If you want to have a lovely birthday dinner, go to Taos NYC on 59th Street. Is it 59th Street? On 5th Avenue, around that area. And it's by Central Park. Love that restaurant. So on our way there, we passed by the horses and carriages by Central Park. So he told me, like, you know, he wanted to go to horse and carriage day and stuff like that, and a helicopter ride, and I was into stuff like that. So I was kind of falling for it. We got to Taos now. Taos over capacity. Because at certain times at night, Taos turns to a club. I think we got there like around 10ish, and this was Good Friday, like Good Friday. He still had that picture on his page till this day, so I'm gonna insert it right here. But anyways, we got Taos, it was over capacity, so we went across the street to my other favorite restaurant, which he made me. All his restaurants that I said my favorite restaurant is because of him. Like, he made me enjoy and see a lot of places in New York, and we had a lot of fun together. So anyways, we go across the street to a restaurant called Laveau. There was a line outside Laveau, but the bouncer was black, and for some odd reason, I don't know if he knew him or whatever, but he let us in. So the thing about me is, you have to pay attention to detail when it comes to me. Now, I like seafood, favorite color is red, I like YouTube, I like computer work, graphics, stuff like that, yada yada yada, hair, makeup, all of that. So the way how we talk so much, he really listened. Because when we got to Laveau, I had the menu in my hand. I'm like, alright, cool. Let me see what I want. Now me, I don't judge people. I'm very humble. I'm very sweet. A lot of people don't see it in that way because they look at like, oh, she's a hot commodity. She travels. She like designer stuff, whatever. I'm really simple. I'm really sweet. I'm sitting there, whatever, and I'll never forget this. The food that I like, that I want, that was only seafood, because I'll tell you something about me. I like steak, but I don't eat steak that much. But anyways, when I go to restaurants, like, I eat steak, but I don't really eat it that much. Chicken, I forbid chicken, because usually when chicken comes to you, it be dry as hell. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like y'all don't know. Salmon be dry too. So I saw this plate for like $100 and something. It was lobster tails, it was shrimp, it was pasta. So I'm looking like, I legitimately had the menu in my hand for like this, like 15 minutes. Like, I don't know what to eat, I don't know. He's just like, yo, order something. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, let me order for you. The man picks up the menu and orders what I like, which is the seafood plate. That's the real guy right there. And I'll give him his props till this day. Like, he listened to what I like, and he came through. Same thing with me too. I came through. So he got me the food. I was like, okay, cool. Mind you, I didn't know what I knew where he worked, but I didn't know if he had it like that. But I wasn't even judging him like that. But anyways, I'm doing whatever. We got the food. We giggling. We laughing. We have a nice time. He pays for everything. We walk outside. So we walk outside now. We see one of the yellow cabs. So the yellow cab that we saw was like an SUV type of version, like a truck version. So it was huge. We get into the yellow cab. Mind you, we went from the movies into Uber to get like a $200 dinner, to get out of $200 dinner to go into an Uber that was like $60-something. Well, a cab that was $60-something. We got in the cab now. This whole vacation. This whole night he was respectful, did not touch me in an appropriate way, to not lean in for a kiss, none of that. It was sweet. As soon as we got into the car, he put his arms around me and we just started kissing. Like, I was like, okay. I start to like him. I respected him so much because, like, he gave me my first real date at the age of 20. Like, I've never gotten a real sensual type of date. So we kissing over the bridge, whatever. Fireworks, sparks, torches, was going off in my head, B. Like, nobody ain't know. So he gets to my crib. He gets out the car. He opens the door. He lets me. He kisses me. So he hops back in. The driver's just like, hey, like, why you didn't tell me not run the meter? He was like, it's okay. And he went home in the cab. You think everything's all fairy tale and peaches and cream and whatever? But girl, that's just the beginning of the fuckery.
She used to work at King of Diamonds on a Monday. Only hit the club on Saturday and Sunday. I used to pull up every week, you should have seen her. The way she did it, nobody could do it cleaner.